أنا مريض. أنا مريض والله. Yes. What are you saying? You good?
Yeah, bro.
How you doing?
Yeah, good.
You
Man.
good?
You look familiar still.
Yeah, maybe you see me in a dream.
Yeah, well, this is Mom's brother. Yeah, Mom's brother.
No.
You know something called a Mom?
No. Were you from Bush?
Nah, from Acton.
I'm from Acton. Yeah, next door neighbor. Mashallah. What are you saying, bro? When are you gonna testify the truth? Don't waste time.
I don't think, bro. Can't do that yet.
You need more time.
Time, I need more knowledge.
You know, study, alhamdulillah. But don't waste time, study, you know. Because, you know, nothing is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? But you keep saying Allah knows my intention. Yes, that's true. But, you know, you have to profess the truth, innit?
I prophesized it when I was 15.
You professed it, you mean?
Yeah.
Professed it?
Yeah. Took my shahada when I was 15.
And now what happened?
I was 15 now.
I didn't know, so basically.
I had a little bit of knowledge about the deen, about Islam.
Yeah.
So my friends was teaching me, telling me this and that.
Yeah.
But I was a kid.
Okay. 15 is not kid, bro. I mean, look, you know, if you go back, that's what I said, you know, it's good you mentioned that. You know, if you go back home, like I'm from Algeria, yeah? When I used to be in Algeria, in the markets, I was 11 years old. I used to be 9 years old selling stuff, you know, because he's poor, his family poor, he can't go to school, so he has to work. 9 years old, bro, he does like a man, bro, you understand? You know, that's why I said people, Prophet getting married to Aisha, that was 1,400 years ago, and they were completely different. You understand? Even our time, some countries, they get mature quicker than, you know, so 15, bro. I know the environment, I understand that. Of course, no problem.
15, all of my friends are just Muslim. Next thing you know, obviously, I don't want to speak bad about them because
Yeah.
I love them to this day.
Yeah.
I go to take my shahada inside the masjid. They're coming to me high. I said, Aki, today's the day I'm taking my shahada. What you lot doing? They can't even come inside the masjid with me. You get what I'm trying to say? When I was 15, circle of friends, not for the wrong reasons. I had the right reasons to take the shahada, but wasn't enough knowledgeable to take such a big step.
Yeah.
If I was to take my shahada now again, which I believe I should, if I
Yeah.
want to be Muslim,
Alhamdulillah.
it's not something like that.
Yeah.
I want to have my knowledge.
Yeah, of course, it's good to study. No problem. Learn. Because even I mentioned that many times, even the time Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, some companions asked Prophet ﷺ to give them time to think. You know, to think and to reflect. Like you said, it's a big step. But some people accept it because, you know, that's why I always, if you notice my videos when I give in da'wah, I always mention, does it make sense to you? Does it go in line with your intellect, with your natural inclination? You believe the truth? Yes, that's it. You have to confess it. Why? Because if I love my mother with my heart, I should say I love her. Understand? That's why I always focus on that. Because I don't want to tell the person to take shahada, then he say, you know, I didn't think it was the truth and that. That's why I always, if you know, step by step, I say, does it make sense so far? Is it clear so far? I move on. You know, to make sure everything's clear. You know? But if you want more time, study, no problem, alhamdulillah. You know, I had a nice leaflet, but I gave it, subhanAllah. You know, alhamdulillah. You have my number. You know, if you want to meet up, inshallah, then we can meet up.
Anyway,
Yes, he's my neighbor.
not far away.
He's from Acton? Yeah, from Acton. Well, is Acton?
North Acton.
North Acton, all right.
It's quickly though, 5-minute drive.
Yeah, of course, North Acton's not that far,
I used to
alhamdulillah.
be in Westfields. I used to always see you in Westfields.
Outside the station?
Yeah.
Giving da'wah?
Yeah.
We're always there, alhamdulillah. We've been
Are
there.
you still there?
Yeah, we're still there, yeah. On the weekend, alhamdulillah. We go give da'wah, alhamdulillah. You know, there is much better to be than Speaker's Corner. I mean, there is khair in Speaker's Corner. There is goodness here. You know, you meet people. But majority of times, some people give you a headache.
I would say just once before last week, just from like a couple of people that I've met here, a lot of people, they might have knowledge, but they don't have, I don't see sincerity in them when they speak.
Yeah.
They speak to argue and they speak just to hear what you're saying and then just to reply back. But not hear what you're saying,
Understand it.
Just to reply back. But I've got one question, like if you've got time.
No problem, I have time for you, brother.
One quick question.
Go on.
There's like one of the things that makes me think about Islam.
Yeah.
If it's the right religion, if it's not. But in terms of slavery in Islam, if you could, because I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. I've just heard some people speak about this that are talking bad about Islam. I'm sure Muslims speak about it, but from you, what is it like? How does Islam look at slavery, and how can you bring it back to today's day?
Okay.
If it's halal, if it's haram.
That's a good question. So Islam, me personally, I don't use the term slavery. I use the term raqq, which is servitude. Okay. But now Islam won't against slavery. Okay, but I'm going to come to it. Of course, there's savages in Islam. But Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he's the one who said that anyone that goes around and enslave free people, his prayer will not be accepted. Another narration, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, Allah will be the opponent of any person that goes around and enslave free people. The origin of mankind to be free. No one should enslave no one. Why? Sheikh Salih Fawzan, one of the great scholars of Islam, said because Allah created Adam as a free man. Okay? Now, when Islam came, Islam did not come with servitude. Servitude was already there. Okay? But Islam came to show which one is correct, which one is incorrect. Okay, now the question asks, which one is the correct one? The correct one, Islam, in a war. Okay? In a war. If there is a proper war, not a group of people going to Notting Hill Gate and they say, I'm fighting against the kuffar, let me kidnap this girl. You know what I'm saying? No, proper war, sovereign countries fighting war for Islam, not for personal issues, okay? Then Allah gave 4 options to the Muslim leaders. First option, when you take the war prisoners, either you free them, all of them. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did that, okay? He freed the whole tribe, okay? To show you that his main concern was not to take people as servants or to exchange them. You know, in a war, they're going to take their prisoners as well. They're going to take prisoners from your side. So you exchange them. Or you ask for money. Say, okay, I'm going to give you the prisoners, give me money. The last option, I keep them to serve me. Now, if they're going to serve me, there is a system for that. What is the system? You take care of them, treat them the way you treat yourself, feed them with the same food. Now, within this system, these people, likewise, there is a channel for them to free themselves. There's one when you sign a contract. I will work for you this year and I'll pay you to live, okay? The other one, if I take an oath, Allah said if you take an oath and you don't fulfill it, free servant, okay? So Islam, there's, because what you have to understand, bro, back in those days, I mean now the war in our time, no one take his children and his wife to go to war. So it cannot really take place, understand? I'm not saying it doesn't exist anymore. We still believe this Islamic legislation because it's a war and it is justified and it's just. Why it's just? Because these guys are coming to kill us. So when we take them as prisoners, we don't gonna give them we not scare people away, those who think to come and fight us. We say, okay, they're gonna take me as a servant, understand? So yes, this is the Islamic one. As for the rest one, going around enslaving people because of their skin color or because of their religion, Islam, you don't take them as a servant because of their religion, not because they're waging a war against you.
So only war captives?
They're war captives, yeah, you're not allowed to that. And with all war captives, there's system.
But in today's time,
yeah,
there's still people that have slaves or servants, like you say.
No, our scholar said that's haram. Where they got them from?
Okay.
Like now, Sheikh Salih Fawzan said, may Allah preserve him. Imagine I kidnap this brother, yeah, and this brother stays with me. Then imagine his 5th grandson, he's still servant. Now, if the people found out, hold a minute, his great-great-great-grandfather was kidnapped and he became a servant. You have to free him, but he's not a servant, you see. So in Mauritania, the scholars in Mauritania clearly went against it. In Sudan, clearly went against it. In Khalij, people mixing between a housemaid and a servant. Some people, they're Juhal, ignorant Muslims, he thinks she's a housemaid, he thinks he's a slave. He thinks he's a servant. And he said, no, there's no servants. I remember a brother contacted me. He said, you know, in Dubai, you know, he said, some people think a housemaid is a servant. He said, no, the servitude that Islam spoke about is in a war. You see? And you treat them, and you take care of them. And people say, if she's a female, just to have intercourse with her. No. Islam, alhamdulillah, Islam, there is no one verse, brother, or a hadith, authentic hadith, encourage a Muslim to go and enslave people. Rather, Allah always encourage peace. But if there's a war, we have to have a war. Because let us be realistic. We should not be speaking theory. We should be speaking what is real. There is people out there, they don't listen. You know, they just want to wage a war. And sometimes, because some people, they say Islam is not the religion of peace. Why Islam is not the religion of peace? Because you have verses that encourage these with wars. That does not negate Islam is not. That does not invalidate Islam to be the religion of peace. Because sometimes, in order to establish peace, you have to wage a war. That's why there's 2 types of war. There's a praiseworthy war and blameworthy war. The war in the Quran is a praiseworthy war. The war that encourages people to establish peace. That's what Allah said. وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. do not cause corruption upon the earth after it has been rectified.
In terms of having a slave, so as a woman, it's halal for you to have sex with that slave.
Yes, if you have a servant female, you're allowed to have intercourse with her.
With her permission, of course.
You can't force her, brother. You can't even force your wife. I mean, look, brother, intercourse is to enjoy yourself, correct? Please tell me how you're going to enjoy yourself forcing someone to have intercourse with you. To give me boom, punch her, headbutt. Are you this Mark Tyson or what? Like building a stick. Hey, how on the wall are you going to force a woman to have? I'm just saying, someone said Islam to force your wife. Like even a human being, how am I going to force my wife? I'm going to pick a knife and say, listen. It's a joke.
But it's halal to have sex with her.
It is halal to have intercourse with her because why? She's under your which is mamlakat al-yamin. Yeah, it's halal. But ask, you know what is it? Does it exist? Doesn't exist. So it's pointless speaking about it. But if it happens, yes, it's halal.
But obviously it doesn't exist in these days, but back then
Yeah, it's halal.
it's halal. But what makes that halal? What's the difference between?
Why the guys coming to Wajhu and guess us in the first place?
Yeah, but two wrongs don't really make.
No, it's not wrong. This one I'm taking care of her. Because you think I'm just using her for intercourse. I'm not. I'm taking care of her. I'm clothing her. Because if I leave her in the desert, what will happen to her? She'll get kidnapped, maybe. She'll be killed. So I'm taking care of her. And I said, well, you know, Allah give me the right. And you know what is funny, or what is very interesting? That majority of the servants in Islam became Muslims. Why we never heard the servant and guess there? Rather, there were 3 servants who became leaders. Bilal bin Abi Rabah was a leader. So we don't please try to compare this dirty, disgusting slavery that was done to black people to Islam. Islam has nothing to do with skin color. Islam, the reason there was a servitude, you waging a war. The outcome, because you are waging a war against people who submit to God and serve Him, God say, okay, because you are not happy for them to be my servant, and you're not happy to be my servant, you're going to be their servants, who are my servants. And that's justice.
I understand that, but also once that servant, like once he's become a slave to you, like for example,
I don't like to use the word slave, brother. Because this slave, I don't like it.
Is that not the direct translation of
No, it's not, because the riq is not a slave. It's a servant. Because even there's a hadith Prophet said, do not call someone your slave.
Okay, so
You didn't know that? Yeah, Prophet said that. I said, yeah, Prophet said, don't call anyone your slave. Because everyone's a slave of Allah.
because this is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
If now you're
Slave of Allah.
then how can you have 2 masters?
Yeah, no, it's not. But that doesn't negate if you have 2 masters. I mean, you have a boss, and God is your boss as well. Like in the language that we can use in English or English, God is our boss. You know, so you can serve your boss who is in your work, and you can serve your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't like to use the word boss, but I'm just like, in English language we use it. Okay? So it doesn't go against each other, to be honest.
So it's not like obviously the person doesn't have 2 masters, but you must obey the master
Yeah, but if the master tells you to disobey Allah, don't listen to him.
because he's the number 1.
That's it. That's the ultimate one. Alhamdulillah.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome, brother. All right. Alhamdulillah, no problem. And you have my number, call me, yeah? Make sure, inshallah. Even go for coffee or something, you know, my neighbor.
I've got your number.
Okay, take care, brother.
You're lucky geezer, man. Allah al-Azim.
You know, Ikhwa, I want to address a point. You know, last time I was speaking to this Albanian brother, may Allah guide him to Islam. And remember, he asked about slavery in Islam. And we don't use this term slavery, you know. But have you noticed that when I was speaking to him, not just him, when you speak to many non-Muslims, you know, I mentioned that Islam is against slavery, against going around and enslaving free people because of their skin color, because of belief. Islam, there's something called servitude. And that's only occur in a proper war, sovereign country with a sovereign country, okay? So the outcome of this war, you take prisoners. Those prisoners, there's 4 options. Either you let them go for free, Prophet did it, and it's clear cut, give us, the Prophet Muhammad, his first da'wah was not come, let us take people as servants, you know. Second one, you exchange them with the other prisoners. The third one is what? You ask for money and you give them. And the fourth one, you keep them as a servant to serve you. Have you noticed he left the free ones and he focused on the fourth one? Why? Let me ask you, brothers. Why he focused on the fourth one? Why he never said, okay, why you have to exchange them? Why you have to ask for money? Why he focused on the fourth one? Huh?
Because he's always been misunderstanding Islam.
Okay.
That's why he's always heard. He's not heard the other thing. He's always heard that
Yeah,
one.
because this, you know, if you notice, Now many people, they think I'm a free thinker, but he's not a free thinker. Clearly he's been influenced by the environment that he lives in. Because this now, like this, if I said this 200 years ago, he would not have no problem with it. Or 100 years ago, he would have no problem. He would not say, yeah, but why you have to keep them as a servant, serve you and take care of them, treat them nice and everything. He would not focus on that, you understand? But now because this one, and now they changed. They said, no, we don't do it anymore because different time, different world and everything. So they focus on it, you understand? Likewise, Aisha, if you spoke to someone 200 years ago in Britain, I'm not talking about in Kandahar or talking about Algeria, no, in Britain, if you 200 years ago spoke to someone in Speaker's Corner, Arab Speaker's Corner, for some got married to Aisha at the age of 9, he say, yeah, okay, Mary, all right. Yeah, okay, I have no problem with it. Why? Because it was, like, you see, it was normal. But now, the point here I'm trying to establish, also about jihad al-talab, offensive jihad, okay? Even though I explained, alhamdulillah, not like this going around, trying to take over countries, to take their resources. That's not the offensive jihad. But now, so firstly, this doesn't happen, doesn't occur in our time. They say, akhi, forget this, Arab, you know, Arab, subhanAllah, some of them, wallah, they just talk about politics, and none of them study politics. You know, akhi, some Arab, akhi, they express everything, but they have studied nothing. The point here is that, have you not noticed, they talk about two things, for example, servitude. But now, there's many studies been, or many reports has been released, there's slavery in Britain. And there's slavery in Italy. But no one speaks about it. Likewise, jihad al-talab, offensive jihad. Which Muslims are doing offensive jihad? Well, we know America is doing offensive jihad. America is invading people's countries. But no one speaks about it. Why? It's like someone who wants to rob someone. He will try to divert the people's attention from him to focus on keep robbing him. That's what they're doing. You know? That's why I have to focus.
Look over there.
Look over there, I'm going to take your money. That's what's happening. That's why I'm saying, look, you're speaking about something that does not happen. And even, let me make it clear. Yes, we accept that, the other option, which is servitude. However, what should we do? We should burn them or kill them. Because in our time, what happened to war prisoners? They turn into ashes. Drop a bomb, boom, even they're gone. You see? Guantanamo Bay. In Iraq, how they've been treated. But Abu Ghraib, no one speaks about it, even forgot. But everyone remember Prophet Muhammad did 1,400 years ago. But you forgot what happened 30 years ago, or 15 years ago. To show you the hypocrisy of these people. You know? You see? That's why when we speak to people, we say, well, this doesn't not happen our time. Tell me about America invading people's countries, pushing their ideology on people's throats. Why don't you speak about it against it? If you're against oppression, you believe Islam is oppression, no one really doing that. Do you know why? Because they know Islam is the truth, and they want to take people away from the truth.
The slaves to America, yes,
That's it. Understand? So point here is that in Islam, yes, that's servitude, and again, there is a system, you take care of them, treat them nice, look after them, or what you want me to do? I'm talking about, now does it happen? Now no one really takes his family and children and wife and go to war. You understand? But back in those days, either you let them go, let them die out of hunger, or let the dogs eat them, or something happen, or you take them and take care of them, or kill them. Which one? Take care of them is backward now. You see? Why? Because some people, they hate Islam. Even if what Allah legislated, it makes sense, but they still go against it. Yeah, shaitan, barakallahu fik. Because why? The hatred blind their hearts. Wal-iyadu billah. So also my brothers and sisters who are watching, and everyone, we should be proud of our religion. Sometimes not because he said it's backward and doesn't like it, therefore we have to be ashamed of it. Who said you, an ex-Muslim or a non-Muslim, you are a criteria for my belief? Who said your opinion or your feeling is a criteria for my belief? I think it's a backward. Oh, mashallah, I'm going to be shy today. I'm going to wear niqab because you said it's backward. So, who you say about, you know what I'm saying? Understand? So, that's why you have to understand. I know sometimes Muslims feel inferior toward non-Muslims. No.
It's just brainwashing.
Yeah, that's why they start doing, yeah, of course, brainwashing. Of course. Who's the hero all the time? America. Who? Rambo. I need Rambo, akhi. What is Rambo, bro? This guy. Afghanis are not to be strong people. Fighters. But they wait for Rambo to come and save them.
Even Tarzan in Africa is a white guy.
Tarzan, yeah. Tarzan. You see you see, subhanallah, the movies. Yes, American, you see?
because
You
they've
see-
colonized the world.
Of course, they're doing it ideological. But yeah.
When the Nazis in Germany, they brainwashed everyone as well. They all thought Hitler was a god or a messiah or something like that. These people don't realize they're under the influence of a modern, I don't want to say dictatorship, but I think it is a
The
dictatorship.
mental dictatorship
Yes.
is colonial.
Yeah.
The modern form of slavery is actually debt slavery. So they trap everyone in debt.
Yeah.
And then you have to spend your whole life trying to pay off that debt.
Yeah.
Usury, interest. So what really is a slave?
Yeah, of course. They're talking about slavery, أخي.
Probably the prisoners of war in Islam, when they treat them as servants, they probably treated them better than
No, probably they
people
did.
treat our workers.
أخي, you know something, King. And I know, if you have intercourse with the woman that is a servant, she become free. She become free, and you treat her nice. And you know, like one person is on Instagram.
But they think it's, when you say that, people think it's by force. It's a rape.
أخي, I said, how are you going to force a woman to have intercourse with? Are you going to fight her? By the time you finish, you're already tired. If you can, let's go sleep. If you're going to be tomorrow. Oh, you mean by force? By saying, listen, it's my right over you, and God gave me a right. So, if you believe in God and it's my right, okay. But if you said, no, I don't think I want to do it today. خلاص يا أخي, what are you going to say? No, let me bring the sword, let me bring the gun. What is going to turn jungle today? Like, أخي, what, even one guy said in Islam, and bear in mind, there's not verse or hadith. Some ulama said this. يا أخي, some ulama, I'm not blind for ulama. You know? Now, some ulama, yes, it's compulsory, meaning she has to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because that's her husband's right. Likewise, if the woman she wants to have intercourse with her husband should have the intercourse with. And it's compulsory upon him too. As Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned, rahimahullah ta'ala. No, the difference is just woman. You understand? Because why? They want to make Islam look bad. You know, that's focus. So they focus on the issues which because in the Western world, the woman was like nothing, literally. Even some philosophers, they used to think woman is not a human being. You know, literally. But because they want too bad, they oppress women so badly, when they give women rights, they want so bad as well. They can't be in the middle. You understand? But Islam, no, woman has a right, man has a right. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this creation. In order for this creation to be in order, there is a man has a duty and a woman has a duty. You know, so that's how you have a good society. Understand? That's how you have a good society. But you know, and one guy said, they call it sex slave. Look, because you have intercourse with her, you call her a sex slave. So according to this individual, because you have intercourse with your wife, she's a sex wife now. He left everything that you take care of her, feed her, spend money on her. He left everything, he focused on what? Because he has a dirty mentality.
It's a reflection of himself.
Barakallahu fiqh is a reflection of himself. That's the best word. It's a reflection of himself.
If they had the Muslim character, they wouldn't think like that in the first place.
Yeah.
So she would be honored.
That's it. Like one guy, he said the brother akhi, they said the والعياذ بالله about the Hajar Sauda, the black stone. He said this non-Muslim said he looks like أعوذ بالله من ذلك. You know, like woman stuff, yeah, woman private part. I said, you know why? Because this man is a dirty. That's why always he has no. What he has in his brain only woman private parts. This guy, he looks sticky. He thinks man private parts as well. You know, because that's why he thinks. والعياذ بالله. You see, that's how he has dirty mentality, and they try to blame Islam on that. والعياذ بالله. As the Arab said, رمتني بدائها وانسلت. She accused me of a disease and she flew. And she has a disease, not me. They said this Arab saying. That's the point. They have the disease and they try to accuse Islam of that. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. So firstly, yes, be proud of your deen and do not feel inferior. And if he doesn't accept it and he says backward, say, who are you to determine what is backward, what is not? Do you think because you said he's backward, khalas, we're going to leave Islam? Hey, man, innit? Alhamdulillah, we're proud. Wallahi, if it's not Islam, I don't know what I'll be doing, man. Alhamdulillah, wallahi. All of us. You know, because why? If I believe I'm a reaction of, I believe I'm a chemical reaction or came from a blind matter, no one should tell to me what is right, what is not, man. Let me do my own thing, man.
That's what their leaders are really doing.
Yeah.
Look what's happening in the world.
Of course, akhi, that's why some people they claim to be atheists, but they're not true atheists. Because if you believe in atheism correctly, then you should not believe what is right, what is wrong. Like that guy who came, Assalamu alaikum, he came to the park saying that don't eat meat, eat only veg, yeah? I said, if you're atheist, if you're a true atheist, because some people say I'm atheist, he has no clue. If you're a true atheist, you shouldn't even be here. Let us eat anything, because we are just a chemical reaction. We come from blind matter. We'll ask do whatever we want to do. Okay, you believe that is your moral, but you should not impose your moral on me. Because you believe there is no absolute truth. And there is no absolute right or wrong. So why are you coming to tell me what you believe? Okay, maybe we'll discuss, but you should not impose it on me. You see?
I think they're trying to create their own religion.
Shia. Today is Muharram. Shia, they're beating themselves up. Huh? Wallah, you feel sorry for the layman, Shia. That's why I always, when I give dawah to Shia people, or when I refute some Shia's belief, I always differentiate between layman and the callers. Because laymen, some they don't know, wallahi, they're masakin. Wallahi, they have no clue what's going on. This is not our deen, akhi. If they really love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they believe he was killed. Why don't they beat themselves up for him? I'm not saying you should do it, but if you love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than Hussein, why don't you go beat yourself up for Prophet's death? They don't do it. You know? Likewise, Ali was killed, and that. Why Hussein? One of the Mashaykh mentions it because Hussein was married to a woman from Persia. You know? They are a force, akhi. They are Majus, akhi. That's a Majus teaching. It's not Islam teaching. Huh? They killed him, akhi. Shia al-Islami nasaru wa lil-kufri kasaru. They didn't give victory to Islam, nor they refused their disbelief. Have you ever seen Shia giving da'wah to non-Muslims? Never, akhi. I never see Shia giving da'wah to non-Muslims. He always come and interrupt Sunni when he's giving da'wah to a Christian. Why? Because Shi'ism is a reaction of Sunnism. That's why Shia cannot live without Islam, without Sunni. Like I said to Shia guy, I said, go to the front of the camera and tell them about your belief. Like Christian, the Christians here, they're just a reaction of Islam. I said to Bob or Paperboy, go on the camera and say, I believe God became a baby, someone changed his nappy. I said, go, and after that, go read the comment section. Every Christian say, I left, I had enough. I'm leaving this nonsense. God, the Almighty, the powerful God, the perfect, has no beginning no end, became a baby and someone changed his nappy. That's what they believe. I'm not mocking them. That's what they believe. Like we believe Allah is above his creation, Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. That's what our belief. If someone states our belief, we're not going to start be embarrassed. But what they believe God, the Almighty, became a baby. That's why they don't want to teach that. What they teach 24/7. David Wood, biggest liar. What is it about? About Islam. Islam this, Islam that. Okay, Islam is wrong. What about Christianity? For the sake of argument, Islam is the truth without any doubt. What you have to offer them? Sorry, we Christian believe God became baby. Just let me go back to Islam, man. Islam make more sense. Wallahi, ikhwa. So alhamdulillah, again, the advice I always give, learn, study, make sure you learn your deen and study the correct way. Because as we were speaking earlier on, there's a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of misguidance happening amongst the Muslims or the non-Muslims. So we have to learn and know the truth to be with the people of the truth. Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi. The person is upon the religion of his friend. So فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَنْ يُخَالِلْ. So be aware with your friend and always emphasize on studying. Learn, study, read, make sure, especially us and brothers who are younger than us, we are like a generation of Instagram, generation of Snapchat. You see, yeah, we focus on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Open the books, read, study. You know, okay, there's this guy on Instagram, you know, he's some clown. He left Islam, he's an ex-Muslim. And I told the brothers, don't go to him. You know, I said to the brothers, don't go, sisters, don't listen to him. He's 24/7 Islam, 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 Islam. I said, don't go listen to him. Don't go. Why are you wasting your time? Listen to someone mocking Islam, even the mocking the Muslims. You understand? No, that guy is a clown, man. He's a clown. That guy, wallah, is a big clown. He's a donkey. He's a donkey of America. Wallah, he's a clown. That guy, subhanAllah, subhanAllah, is a business. Have you not see when he put a tweet? He said, you know, a YouTuber is not going to pay me or something. He's begging for money. Now, I told you, I mentioned that a long time ago. I mean. If you want to make money now, claim to be ex-Muslim, and you see how many people. Wallahi, business. But we don't, alhamdulillah, bi'idhnillah jalla wa ala. We'll never sell our religion. Bi'idhnillah jalla wa ala. We'll never.
of them, even some I show me videos. Half of them not even Muslims. They just say maybe.
Some of them they never been Muslim in their life. Some of them he was just a Muslim like a Muslim. That's it. You understand? قل أعوذ برب الفلق. He didn't know. لا, it's a joke. إخوة, why? Do you know why, إخوة? الكردش, yeah. Alhamdulillah, many Kurdish brothers contacted me and said, look, أخي, we are free from him. Because in Kurdistan, in the Iraq part, some of them are Christians. And he comes to Britain and he claims that he was a Muslim and he can't go back to Kurdistan because he wants to get a British passport. But he was not even a Muslim. He was a Christian, understand? But because he lived amongst the Muslims, so he knows, Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, you know, and he speaks Arabic. You understand? Some of them are not even the Muslims, akhi. And have you not noticed, ex-Muslims, Christians, Islam haters, all of them come together against Islam. Why? Do you know why? Because they know Islam is a powerful thing. You have to unite against it. Even you hate each other. But Islam is still powerful and still strong and still spread because it's the truth. Wallah, you see these people, they hate each other. Ex-Muslim, he hates Christian. And a Christian, he hates ex-Muslim. And an ex-Christian, and all of them come together to fight Islam because they know Islam is a powerful. Because for example, if you're in the ring and they bring you Mike Tyson and they bring you a rabbit, you're not going to focus on the rabbit. You're going to focus on Mike Tyson. You understand? He's going to knock you out. You understand? That's an example I'm giving. Alhamdulillah, ni'mat Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prolong our life upon Islam and the Sunnah. And may Allah أحينا على الإسلام والسنة وأمتنا على الإسلام والسنة واحشرنا على الإسلام والسنة. صلى الله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. بارك الله فيكم.
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.